many changes. A lot of changes, actually. We are live.
Hello.
And I've been talking to LinkedIn a lot more lately, and the hacker hoodie's not going away. But yeah, anyways, we're talking about our new platform because we finally finished the Olympiad. The Olympiad, in terms of like deploying it, is deployable, and we are doing things to make it, easier to use by the day. Mm-hmm. And we rigorously test everything that we do. And I've just spent a tremendous amount of time building this platform called the Olympiad, and it's really just a toolbox, but it's a specific type of toolbox. It's a cloud building toolbox for building cloud. That's what it's for. You build clouds with it.
Build clouds.
Yeah.
So today we're not going to go too long because it is kind of later in the day, and we just kind of wanted to say hi and just announce that we're going to be doing a lot more of these live streams, or at least NATO is. I'll be on when I'm available, and NATO, you'll be seeing him a lot, and a lot more of me as well, just on LinkedIn. And we just wanted to, just announce that, and then. Also, NATO, what is your favorite part of the Olympiad? Let's talk about that. What is the best thing about the Olympiad?
So the Olympiad, as I was talking about, it's a toolbox for building cloud, and it's a toolbox built out of tools that people are familiar with, tools that people have used before, heard of, things like that. But since a lot of people haven't necessarily gotten into knowing how cloud is built, because we know about clouds when we look out in the sky and it's all just like these bright fluffy things. Well, there's this whole thing.
I think also when people think of cloud infrastructure too, and I might be wrong, but at least when I think about it, I think of a big warehouse somewhere that's just full of servers and just this kind of, I don't know, something out of the Matrix or something. I don't know. That's just this huge, crazy infrastructure that the average person will never have any access or ever get their hands on.
And that's generally true.
Yeah.
That's right. So cloud is generally built on these huge behemoth of machines. And the problem with that is let's say that you want to learn how to build cloud. Let's say that you want to start building cloud projects of your own that you might want to scale into something else. And let's say that you're even trying to start a new company. And let me tell you, one of the big problems with big machinery and big devices and big everything and these big budgets is there's also this thing called time that not everyone has unlimited amounts of. Mm-hmm. And time doesn't fall off of trees. Even if you have unlimited money, you still can't, go back in time.
There's only so many hours in a day, too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's if you want to accomplish certain things, or maybe there's a limited time thing that you want to react to and all these things, generally speaking, if someone wants to go and build a new cloud platform or build a new thing and who knows what, then historically you go to something like AWS. And there's nothing wrong with AWS, but really, with AWS,
but
it's
really, it is AWS.
you have to rent these cloud systems that because it's okay, so maybe I can't afford or get my own infrastructure or get my own things that I want to build on and build my first time product, or maybe just learn. Maybe I just want to learn how to get into cloud in the first place, and I don't want to pay monthly fees or whatever. I guess you could start getting AWS and some of these other things. But then
that's
you
what
have
most people do. That's kind of the enterprise solution at this point. Yeah. But Nathan, what is another way that we are now offering that people can learn some of these things themselves?
So in my opinion, with all of the past ways that people use to build cloud, the big expensive things or the monthly fees are best for when you're ready to start selling whatever you built. Mm-hmm. But when you're trying to build things, or forbid you're not even trying to build something that you're going to sell, you're just trying to learn, right? You're just trying to learn, not even necessarily trying to build, or you're trying to start a new project or a new product or a new service or any of the above, really. Learn, new thing, and you're experimenting and you're trying to come up with a new technology. Historically, you need to have all your own infrastructure, and you have to have tools that can run certain things. You have to have multiple types of who knows what, all this complicated stuff. But fortunately, technology just keeps shrinking down and shrinking down and shrinking down to the point to where the same types of processors that we have in like cell phones have gotten powerful enough for us to basically also host servers and things that we would otherwise need lots of space for and all this other stuff. And while I'm not saying that like a big multi-million dollar Netflix infrastructure server is going to get replaced by some tiny little thing necessarily. It's like Netflix has already been around. They're already using infrastructure that's been around, and they're not going to just like stop doing what they've been doing at Netflix. And so it doesn't make sense for Netflix to go and like try to move over to new infrastructure. But what about someone who's building a new company or building a new project or just trying to learn any of the above? You don't have to have these big, huge things just to start building. You can start building cloud in your garage now. It's because it's software. It's, oh, what?
Show them. Show them what you were about to pick up from your desk.
Oh, on my desk.
Yes.
So actually,
what do we use? Like, what do we use for our cloud development?
So we use these toolboxes that we build, basically, where I guess I'll just tell a little bit of a story. So I had a problem. I had a problem as a business owner where I was trying to build a software platform originally for compliance and all these things. And I was trying to, build stuff for enterprise and all that. And historically, I always built things that are kind of work with cloud or work in cloud or some cloud-based solution. And I would help build tools internally for people at the company to, help build these solutions for securing cloud and, installing these implementations into cloud implementations. And so I'm like, okay, so I want to have a way to still do that sort of work. But then the problem was I didn't have access to like these people's infrastructure and their tools and their exact things. So I needed a way to be able to interact with any person's like cloud infrastructure or build any sort of like cloud hosting or to be able to keep doing what I've always been good at. And my problem was there wasn't a platform that allowed us to do that, really. Not really. And, another part that went with that was, I was trying to build compliance software. And then I was like, well, I got to think about what I want to do. And so I backed away from developing things in cloud. And then I just kind of went and I would contract and teach while I'm trying to figure out this thing. I'm trying to figure out this problem. Like, how am I going to get back to being able to do what I want to do and like build this stuff? Like, do I need to do contracts until I can earn the money? Or, what can I find out? So years go by and it's like all of a sudden like this new hardware came out, like this Raspberry Pi hardware came out. And it was powerful enough to run the type of software. Emphasis on this software. The Olympiad is software. This is bare metal that you can strap the Olympiad to, but you can strap the Olympiad to any hardware that you want because I want to be able to have a software building suite made out of software that I can strap onto whatever hardware that I have available. But then the problem was, what if I wanted to like start building on my existing infrastructure? It was too expensive to easily scale. So if I wanted to like go and build out I have infrastructure for a VM farm and all these things, but if I want to expand out my VM farm, I have to spend a tremendous amount of money to expand out my VM farm. And then also it's slow with the old format that I had. So I spent some time instead like building a software suite that will work on the minimum hardware that I wanted to be able to use, which was a Raspberry Pi, really. Where like as long as like this thing's overclocked to 2.0 gigahertz, then it'll build any enterprise tool that I like to build. The enterprise tools that I build for cloud, you just need maximum cores and maximum RAM and 2.0 gigahertz, and you can build all kinds of cloud anything. And now whether or not you want to host something on this, that's up to the person who's using this. You might be wanting to build for remote infrastructure in a data center and want to have like a developer layer. But what this did was it made it so that I could take like and have some bare metal infrastructure that I could just like secure all of my developer assets in. And then let's say that I wanted to be able to collaborate with other people. It makes it easy to build quickly, and it makes it easy to like work with other people, and it makes it easy for me to like keep track of my projects and have everything in one place where I can just like build cloud solutions for anyone, including myself. And better yet, I can also host cloud solutions. I can host workshops from these things. I can host literally whatever I want. And the best part is I don't have to pay monthly fees. I don't, and whatever I build becomes mine, and it becomes an asset. So like I build cloud
Absolutely.
assets that are
And
permanent.
I think that's huge. It's like it's an asset that you're building. It's something that, again, like we're kind of recapping your points there, are centrally located. You can work with other people on it. You know, it's bare metal infrastructure. Like it's everything you need right here on your desk, and it's like so portable and so easy to like take with you and do whatever you need with.
Yeah. It just makes it easy.
Awesome. The Olympiad. There you go.
Yeah, and I guess if I were to simplify that for those who don't know the technical kung fu or whatever I'm talking about, it makes developing and delivering like cloud products easy and fast because before the Olympiad, we did depend on contracts to like get further in our development for our own products and our own stuff, and
Right.
we're like, okay, take more contracts. Okay, great. That would give us enough funding to stretch out for a few more months. Get more contracts. Great, more months for
More
development.
funding, yeah.
So it was like contract development, and we didn't prefer to work with investors, so we just bootstrapped it all.
Exactly.
Just like contract develop. But eventually we got to a point where
We reinvest it all into
the
all of
business.
this.
yeah, and then exactly, and then eventually you're like, we have enough to like I need to be able to rapidly deploy solutions, and I need to be able to rapidly and aggressively test the solutions that I deploy, and have a centralized way to do that where I can just like as a business owner, and like if I had people work for me, they would have to use this tool suite too because I want to be able to like, will this product work? Build it, find out, move on to the next thing. Build it, find out, move on to the next thing. And then we finally created something like pen testing simulations is what like one of the first things that I found sold well that we built with our platform, the Olympiad, which originally started as a white paper. Really, it started as a hobby. It was just me building. It was me building a solution to be able to build pen testing simulations. I was like, I need a platform to make it easier for me to build pen testing simulations. It was too hard not too hard. It was too slow for my personal preferences to build a pen testing simulation of my preference. I was like, I want to build a very specific pen testing lab that simulates real world pen testing. And I was like, it's so slow to develop all these other ways. I tried AWS, and then there's like all this overhead and all these other things I didn't want to deal with. And then I didn't even own the infrastructure, you know? And it's like I got to rent the infrastructure. And I called them on the phone. This was frustrating to me. And I understand it's just like one of those, someone messed up somewhere. But it's like, I told them that I wanted to cancel the service, and they were kind enough to like refund me for like all the time that I had used AWS because like I was like, I don't really see myself developing in this. I'm just trying to develop proof of concepts. I'm not trying to like permanently host something, right? I'm like, AWS, once I have something to permanently host, great, I'll toss it into AWS and pay the fees and pay all that stuff. But if I'm going to be in that development system day in, day out for hours on end, I don't want to think about the hourly increments that I have to now pay for. I don't want to have to think about like whatever other limits I have. I don't want to think about it, and I don't want to deal with it. I want to have an asset that's right here for me to just develop on. And if there's other developers, give one to them where then they just synchronize together from around the world. Don't care where you live. Make your own little deep web cloud is what it is. It's a deep web in a box. This is a deep web in a box. That's what this is. And so I develop in a deep web. I built a deep web system where it's a deep web toolbox for building cloud. It's a deep web cloud for building cloud. That maybe sounds a little confusing. And I guess I'm maybe a little out there with how I think about things. But it's like I want things to be fast, efficient, low cost. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste someone else's time. And so we ended up just releasing product after product after product because this tool not only made it easy for us to develop, but it also made it easy for us to teach and educate. So in order to further fund our development, we are able to use our own systems and our own infrastructure and the Olympiad architecture that we came up with, where now we can use this platform for business to make money for more business to further complete our platform, where we teach people the skills to work with these things so that people have the skills. And then in the process, we're like making money, getting people jobs, manufacturing, and it's only 3 people running this company. And we can rapidly deploy things faster than most people on the planet. Why? This stuff. This is why we can just like spit out product after product after product after product, pressure test, see who wants to buy, see if it's worth selling, see if we like building it, see if we like working with it. Okay, next thing, let's go. Next thing, let's go. Next thing, let's go. Anyone who's been watching us since like July that was the last time we worked with a contract. We were like, we're not going to work with a contract after, it was since May.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, let's try not to work with contracts anymore, and let's see if this platform can help us pressure test and incubate cloud like products so fast that we can also like monetize the business, like do all this stuff, like monetize the platform itself, like start manufacturing. When we started building the software, we didn't even have these cases. Honestly, our software is what got us to the point where we could afford to build the case, like the full-on kits. And we funded that too, and we built that. And then we funded a dojo, and we're now using that to continue further funding the software, and now we're ready to deploy to businesses.
Heck yeah.
So anyone can rapidly deploy new and like build products, or for that matter, if you're trying to learn, you can learn, or you can learn how to build products like at lightning speeds, as fast as.
So there
as
you
can
go.
deliver.
So that's a nice little introduction into the Olympiad.
Yeah.
Deep dive. What it is.
There you go.
Why we like it. Why we think it's a great tool for all developers, especially when you're in that development space. So. Yeah.
Develop cloud.
Develop cloud.
And it's agnostic, so it's like maybe you do want to work with Azure long term, or maybe you just want to like start building your projects, create mock-up versions of your project, see if your project even works, see if people even like it first.
Right. But yeah, so continue to follow Nathan on LinkedIn. We'll be doing more of these live streams. We hope you guys enjoyed this. Do you have any closing final words, Nathan?
I would like to make a shout out to the dojo, and also we do have a giveaway where we're going to start doing giveaways this week, which. Should we do a giveaway now, or should we wait till Friday?
Let's wait. We need to.
We're gonna wait.
We have some logistics to work out before
we have
we
some
just start
logistics
giving
to work
stuff
out.
away.
We're doing giveaways.
But we're
soon.
ready. We've got products
we're
to give away.
poised.
We've
got products to give away.
Have some kinks to work out.
So people can learn cloud, learn cloud, build cloud yourself, whatever you want to do with it. Your own cloud deep web. I guess the last thing I'd like to do is make a shout out to the dojo members. So for like those who are in the dojo, who said that I can talk about you.
That's our DevSecOps dojo from Notion Point, which is kind of a continuous development, learning platform community.
And I'd like to give a shout out to those who made a lot of this possible. Is like Jorge, Yasser, Randall, and I don't know who else gave us permission to talk about them, so I'll have to go back and ask who am I allowed to tell join the DevSecOps dojo who's been making all of this possible.
Whether we're saying your name or not, like we're just really really like happy you guys are here and part of our dojo. Yeah. It's really exciting. There's some awesome things happening coming out of that dojo. If you'd like to become a part of the dojo, message us on LinkedIn or comment, and we'll get you more information on how you can become a member of the DevSecOps Dojo. Yeah, and basically DevSecOps Dojo, we meet every Thursday. So if you want to get into this week's dojo training session, you can join one of our PyTinker workshops, or you can just message us on how to just join the dojo without buying one of the workshops. Maybe you already have your own infrastructure. But if you want to order one of our own dev kits, you can get into the dojo as well and build with us, learn how to build the way we do, learn how to do rapid construction, rapid deployment. And I so happen to be starting to build what we were calling blueprints in the dojo, where once these blueprints are built, anyone who's in the dojo will not only learn how we build and deploy and how they can build and deploy, and basically if you want to learn everything about like cloud construction, deployment, that sort of thing, we're building this week. We're meeting on Thursdays. We're meeting Thursday this week, and we got a holiday party that we're going to announce that's going to be probably in about like 2 weeks from now or so, which we'll announce more details on later too. Yeah. So. And maybe tomorrow we can spend some more time talking specifically about the dojo and what it is, and Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone who's participated in. Oh, and then also I'd like to give a shout out to Rachel Spiewak, who we will be talking about and bringing on and talking. Anyone who's been following me for a while knows that Rachel Spiewak is my coach, who's helped us learn an incredible amount, and she's getting even more involved. And we're going to do even more exciting things because we're building real stuff, real software, real applications, real cloud construction.